real raw.
Blessings everyone, this is Chris Kendall from the rawadvantage.com. I got an awesome interview for you guys today. I'm really excited to have my good friend Rozalind Graham here. She's an expert on eating disorders and disordered eating, has done a lot of professional work in that field, over 30 years of experience as a natural hygienist, as well as with the raw food diet. I feel really blessed to have you on the channel, Rozalind.
Blessed to be here, Chris.
Thanks so much. And today we're going to talk a little bit about that. And would you like to share some of your knowledge and some helpful tips maybe about that
Some
subject?
helpful tips. Well, this is such an enormous subject and the ranges of needs can be so vast. So I'm just going to hone right on in there, Chris, to
Sounds
those
good.
people who have such great intentions as to what they intend to eat that day and suddenly find that on their plate, or too late, it's in their tummies.
Yep.
They've eaten things that they really didn't intend to.
Yeah.
And then they start feeling really bad. They feel like they failed. They feel like beating themselves up.
Yeah, I've
And
been there.
it's a real bad situation, okay? So let's get clear. Let's have a few little tips here to help you with those didn't mean to do it blues,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, you really need to be sure that you are providing your body with the carbohydrates it needs.
Yeah.
And of course, on this raw vegan diet, that means fruit, folks. Yay! Because you are designed to run primarily on carbohydrates. If those carbohydrates aren't there, your body's going to drive you just about anywhere to get them. And it's going to be the grains, the cereals, the potato, bread, pasta, rice, and maybe even the cardboard box it came in.
Yeah.
You have to have those carbohydrates, right?
Yeah.
So don't expect not to be craving those things if you're not getting enough fruit. So you need to really check out that fruit and just, enjoy it. Enjoy it. That is the food that you need primarily in your diet, is that great, juicy, fresh, sweet fruit. Now, once you've ensured that that's the case and you still find yourself drawn towards the potatoes, pasta, rice, etc., do understand that these things have substances in them which will bring about a complete difference in how you feel.
Yeah.
It's a shift in your experience of life. And that's what we get hooked onto.
Yeah.
It's this shift. It doesn't matter whether it's going to pep you up or chill you out or what it's going to do. It changes how you feel.
Yeah.
And so often we reach for those things because we're looking for that change. Now, if this is happening, it can help you to understand that there is a difference between eating food purely to enjoy yourself and to supply your body with nutrients, and eating a food because you don't like how you're feeling in that moment.
Yeah.
All right?
Avoidance.
So, totally. So one tip I have is that if you're planning on eating something like death by chocolate,
Yeah.
just take that moment to pause and ask yourself, in what way am I emotionally or even physically uncomfortable right in this moment? Now, I'm not saying don't go ahead and eat the death by chocolate. Maybe that's something that you need to do on that day. But at least take the time to stop before you do and ask yourself, what is the discomfort? What is the memory? What's the emotional pain? What is it? Maybe it's simply that you're tired and you want to shift in that experience to feeling energized again.
Yeah.
So you go for a quick kick, yeah? So try and get that tuning in before you go for it. Now, if you do find yourself eating something that you know is not what you intended to eat when you woke up that morning, particularly if it's Monday, that's always a really bad start to the
Back
week.
to work.
Oh no. Then the thing to do there is to slow right down. Most people who eat compulsively or addictively, they do it so fast that they don't even really know that they've done it. Absolutely, just
Yeah.
shovel it right on in there,
Yeah.
And the other thing is that if you eat that fast, that food that's already really difficult for your body to digest is 10 times more difficult because
Yeah.
it's not even chewed properly. So what we do is we slow down and we take something like a sloth or a tortoise as our totem animal of the day, and we become very slow. And we deliberately take a piece of that food, we place it in our mouths, and as we're doing so, we acknowledge, I am doing this because I'm in some way uncomfortable, either emotionally or in some other way. And right now, this is how I'm coping with that. And be honest with yourself,
Yeah.
And then chew it and take it slowly and swallow it deliberately. Now, I will say that I'm not a great advocate of this idea that they have at Overeaters Anonymous and other such things, where the mantra is, I am powerless against food.
Yeah.
Now, there may be a whole thousands of people are going to come down on me and say, no, this really helped me. And if it helped you, that's great, stick with it. But from my perspective and in my experience, to feel that the food has power over you is really actually not going to help a great deal. You're going to end up feeling a victim. Victim is bad news, okay? So what we want to do is we want to consciously accept, I am doing this out of choice. I choose to eat this in order to cope with how I'm feeling right now. Let's have a look again back to the Monday morning thing, okay? We all are going to just live the most hygienic, perfect life. We're going to keep fit. We're going to breathe fresh air. We're going to be on the diet, right? On Monday. Okay. So Monday comes along. What do we have? We have a problem. We see that we've got a drive towards something that we've noticed is available or we're hoping is available. My advice is this. Somewhere in your home, place a box or a basket or some other receptacle. And whenever you feel a drive to consume something that isn't what you intend to consume in terms of your health, take that item and place it in the basket. And say to yourself, I'm going to have that, but I'm not going to have it right now. Okay, I'm going to have that today, but I'm not going to have it right now. And you take your big piece of cake or whatever it is, and you plonk it in that basket or that box all the day, and in the meantime you eat plentifully of those lovely delicious fruits and whatever vegetables you require. You have your breakfast, you have your lunch, maybe before your dinner you have a nice serving of fruit and then perhaps a big salad. And then when you get to the end of eating your healthy foods, you go to your basket and you say, okay, now I am going to eat those things that I've been craving all day. Now, because you knew those things were in the basket, the tension around how you're feeling at a moment of craving will massively reduce, because by placing it in the basket, you've given yourself permission to eat it that day. It's okay. But the thing is, by the time you get there, the moment may have passed, or because you've eaten so healthfully and your body is so well supplied with what it needs, you get to your basket and you think, well, to be honest, I think I can leave that today for another day. Now, even if you get to your basket and you actually do eat every darn thing in it, it's actually still preferable.
Oh, heck yeah.
For a few reasons. One is the chances are you will actually eat less quantity because you've already filled up on these other things. And in addition to that, if you slow down, as I've suggested, you will eat half as much as if you do it as a fast speed. So here we have this basket. It kind of represents the Chinese tea ceremony of Overeaters Anonymous, you know, because it's something that you deliberately do. You do it slowly, but you've reserved it all for the end of your day. Your day is then clear, and you just have this thing to deal with at the end of the day. This can be so really very helpful for people.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That's super great.
Please bear in mind that very often, in fact, I would say almost always, people who are seeking this diet and lifestyle have very high ideals. They are perfectionists. They are people who have this fantastic vision. They are visionaries in many ways and pioneers and have that drive and that inner strength. But the problem, what comes with that as part of the deal, is you suffer from this perfectionism thing. You know, if it's not perfect, I've blown it. So, I've been there, okay? I think most of us have who are involved in this whole movement and this wonderful lifestyle. So let's just consider that and say to ourselves, well, I'm not going to have an eating disorder on Monday and be healed on Tuesday. I mean, sadly, that simply doesn't happen. If you really are having challenges with your food, I would give yourself a year before you reevaluate, you know, how I'm doing. And to every day just think, well, you know, you deal with each day as it comes. If it's a particularly challenging day, you're probably going to be reaching for more of those addictive foods and those foods that shift your experience. If it's an easy day, you're going to glide on right through without too much problem. But don't be hard on yourself. Most emotional pain comes from how we feel about ourselves. So the more you beat yourself up, the worse you feel, so the more you have to go and eat these unhealthy foods. So the golden rule is to fall in love with yourself and be your own absolute best friend, and then everywhere you go, you carry that love and that friendship in your heart for support at moments when you really need it. When you've really messed up, don't berate yourself. Go somewhere privately where there's a mirror and just put your arms around yourself and say, it's okay. Life's not always easy. You're doing really well. Just relax and breathe, and every in-breath is a new beginning. Yeah?
Awesome. So I really hope that this video helps you guys out a bunch. I gotta say, Rosalind's one of my favorite speakers I've ever seen, and it just brings so much immense value. You know, I really hope that I'll see you again in the near future, and
Absolutely.
if you're organizing any events or festivals, I'd really recommend that you reach out through Food and Sport, probably the best way to reach you.
Sure.
Check out YouTube, just search Rozalind Graham, Rozalind Grubin for a lot of different information and amazing videos. And
Yeah. And please keep watching Chris. He's brilliant. Listen to everything he says.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much,
You're
Rozalind.
so welcome.
Definitely a pleasure. And I hope you guys really enjoyed. Again, much love. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Rozalind Graham. Dealing with self-love and acceptance.
If you haven't done so already, check out this video on Chris's raw vegan deep dish pizza. Good.
Excited to announce my new iPhone app, free with 101 frickin' awesome recipes, Terry retreat treats, food combining charts, shopping carts, and more.